All right. Hey, seventh graders. I hope that you have the sound on your video. For this lesson I'm going to show you, you will need a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. You can use a marker, you can use a crayon, a colored pencil, whatever you'd like to do. What I'm going to ask is that as I write stuff down, that you do the same thing. So if you don't have a paper, if you don't have this, press pause and get them. Okay, we're going to start off by reviewing some of the vocabulary words that were in the video on Brain Pop. The first word was producer. Go ahead and practice writing that word on your paper. A producer is a living thing that gets its energy from the sun, and it uses that energy to make food in its body. So I would draw an arrow to show that the sun is giving energy to the producer. All right, I want you to think in your head, what kinds of living things are producers? Maybe you said trees. That would be correct. Or grass. Maybe you even said seaweed. Even though it lives in the oceans, seaweed still gets energy from the sun. All right, so producers are the only type of living things that can take the sun's energy and make food. They are different from us, from humans. We are consumers. So think about it this way. If we go stand outside in the sun, we will not make any food in our bodies. It will not happen no matter how hard you try. So consumers are us because we eat other living things to get energy. I'm going to pause there. I want you to think in your head, what else eats other living things to get energy? Maybe you said cows. We know they eat grass. Maybe you said grasshoppers or other types of bugs. This list, I could fill up hundreds of papers with examples, right? These are just a few. And again, producers are passing their energy onto consumers. The last part of this food chain are decomposers. Decomposers are they can be tricky to understand. Decomposers get their energy by breaking down things that have died. So for example, if you went into the forest and there were dead leaves on the ground, or there's a tree that fell over and it's breaking down like a log, maybe you've seen that before, you would find decomposers living in that area. One example are mushrooms. They grow on things that are dying and they take their nutrients and use them for themselves. Another example is bacteria. Now we know that bacteria are microscopic, right? You would need a microscope to see them because they're so tiny. These bacteria also break down things that are dying. And these are different from bacteria that make you sick. These bacteria play a different role, and maybe they wouldn't make your body sick if you were near them. So these decomposers play an important role because when they break down dead things, all of the nutrients travel back into the soil, and then producers can use them again. So if a mushroom is on top of a tree and breaking down the tree, the bits and pieces of that tree that the mushroom makes, the really tiny ones, can come back and help the producers grow as nutrients. So a couple of things to point out here. This whole thing where I'm showing what is eating what, this cycle, is called a food chain. So the chain part means that it shows what's linked together. Maybe you have a chain that you wear. It's made of little pieces that go together like that. And something else to notice is the way my arrows are facing. Let's do an example a little bit further down to check it out. So let's say I want to show that a cow is eating grass. It might be tempting for you to show, oh, here's the cow, it's eating grass. This is not correct. Remember that the arrows are showing you the way that energy is moving. So a cow does not give energy to grass. It's actually the opposite way. Grass gives energy to a cow when the cow eats it. So this can be a little confusing. One trick that I have to remember this is by thinking of like teeth and a mouth and then drawing that onto the diagram or the model. So here, if I picture this like a mouth, like you know how people take their hand and go like blah, blah, blah to make it look like a mouth? You can draw in teeth and pretend the teeth show you what's eating what. So here, the cow, chomp, 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 is eating the grass. The teeth in the mouth are faced this way. This is what it's eating. The grass is going into the cow's mouth. If we did this the wrong way, it would be kind of scary. If I drew the teeth here, grass would be eating the cow. No, that would be scary. We don't want to walk outside and get eaten by grass. So again, the arrow here is correct. The arrow here is going in the wrong direction.